Bill Cosby, the rapist, that monster, that evil man. How could you still book him at venues? How could anybody even listen to him anymore? Vicious rapist. You know what I find interesting is that in the past few months, 2 months, because really these women have come forward since November. So in the past 2 months or less, about 30 women have come out talking about Bill Cosby raped them, he drugged them, and so forth. That seemed kind of strange to me. And they talking about, it happened decades ago. Or why are they just coming forward now? Seem a little strange, especially at a time when black males are seriously, being projected as the menace to society, as the downfall of America. People who you should just be able to stalk and kill for no reason, just because they black males. You can assume that they're doing anything, kill them, and everybody will let you off because you're a black male, so you must have been doing it. And here's Bill Cosby trying to be a positive voice, coming from a black male, a positive voice for blacks in the streets. Granted, he did go mainstream after the Cosby Show, but I think it's difficult. It would be difficult for a lot of us to not go mainstream. Okay, even if it's just somewhat. And he was not a negative image of a black man in the Cosby Show. So you got to give credit where it's due. But I got a serious problem because it seemed like a straight up conspiracy. We don't need no positive black male voices right now. They don't want that. So they got to throw dirt on that. I consider that as a serious possibility. Aside from that, let's look at white folk. Let's look at y'all heroes, the people y'all admire. Let's look at y'all's presidents, the people who y'all tell us in y'all schools to admire and respect, who y'all teach us about in y'all schools, as if we're supposed to grow up, living vicariously through these people, admiring and respecting these people. How many presidents owned slaves? How many presidents did evil shit? Right? Thomas Jefferson owned about 200 slaves. George Washington owned over 200, over 300 slaves. James Madison owned over 100 slaves. James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, right, owned 75 to 200 slaves. Martin Van Buren, William Henry Harrison, John Tyler, James Polk, Zachary Taylor, Andrew Johnson, Ulysses S. Grant, all owned slaves. And don't tell me that this was just a part of the social norm and that they somehow didn't recognize or know or were aware of the evil of slavery. Because some of those same presidents spoke that they knew that they were fully aware that it was an evil practice, but participated in it anyways. So we should cast those individuals in a light many times worse than the light y'all casting Bill Cosby in right now. Because you might say, oh, he raped them. But he wasn't enslaving them. He wasn't making them a lifetime concubine, right? Raping them against their will for the duration of their entire life And let's get real. We know back then they were raping slave females at the earliest ages imaginable. Hell, up until the late 1800s, it was legal to marry a young girl as young as 9 years old. That's in the 1890s. By law, you could marry a 9-year-old girl. So you know damn well they've been messing around with kids for the longest, and it was running rampant during slavery more than any other time. Raping slaves while they're still kids. And we supposed to admire these people, these presidents. I know you bastards, y'all hypocrites, and the only time y'all want to act like y'all the moral beacons of the world is when a blackface is being accused of being immoral. When you bastards are the originators of immorality. You are the originators of immorality. When you look at our earliest civilizations and compare them to y'all's earliest civilizations, that is abundantly clear. You look at y'all's art, you look at y'all civilization, and you see what? Pedophilia. You see bestiality. You see all kind of disgusting shit. Y'all made it a culture to have sex with kids. Males having sex with little boys. This is part of your culture. Or because it was the norm, somehow it wasn't wrong. So we dealing with motherfuckers who at times throughout history, they don't know right from wrong. So y'all should be put in the fucking mental house, basically. Right? You don't see that type of shit in our civilizations. You don't see us engaged in sex with other men, with little boys, kids, with animals. You see that in y'all civilization. You are the originators of immorality. And now you got the goddamn nerve to act like y'all the moral leaders of the world. Black people need to stop forgetting history. It's right there laid out for you. Anytime these bastards try to come out and act like they're the light of the world, the moral beacons of the world, throw this shit right back in their face. And we ain't even dealt with what goes on right now in the current society. We just dealt with history. It's been proven that y'all discriminate racially on the jobs. That y'all make it hard for black men to get a good job, even with a degree. I was watching a video earlier where a Mr. Olympia had a degree in accounting, graduated with honors. Say he put in over 100 resumes, never got hired because they all told him they wanted experience. Do you think a white guy who graduated with honors in accounting would have put in hundreds of resumes and never got a job? Hell fucking no. It's been proven by white folk themselves. Y'all even teach this in your university. That there are many companies who practice discrimination as far as hiring practices goes. That a white man with a felony is more likely to get a job than a black man without one. That more qualified blacks will lose out on job opportunities to less qualified whites. That blacks have a harder time getting promoted in positions once they're in a job. And white folks move up the ladder quicker and easier and move up higher. Where the most of these jobs, you find only white supervisors, white managers. Y'all practice racism today. It's just covert racism. And y'all got the damn nerve to act like y'all are the leaders and the people who should be sitting in judgment of other people's moralities. Fuck you. I'm gonna support Bill Cosby. He's been one of the few black men who tried to be a positive image of a black man. He wasn't perfect. Who is? Who is perfect? But goddamn it, he tried, which is more than I can say for a lot of these coons and buffoons out here. Stay tuned.